Hey, what it do, y'all? It's your boy E2 Blue coming back at you again. Um, yeah, yeah. Um, are we gonna have football now? We just talked about Dak Prescott signing his tender. Jesus Christ, his tender, right? So, in the last video, I talked about his tender. I talked about they can still sign him to a contract, whether they will or not. It all depends on him. It all depends on, what they all agreed to. But at least the Dallas Cowboys have him under contract right now. That's the biggest thing. I know this whole thing on this whole Jamal Adams thing, I'm just like, let it go. It's just like that Earl Thomas stuff. Like, it just gets old. It's like all I see is on Twitter, Instagram. Like, it's just... And then you got these fake sites that and they irritate me. Oh, this team traded for this guy. This team picked up this guy. Like one of those vlogs said, and this is why I tell you guys, when you're watching these sources, don't believe everything you see, because there's people that just make up stuff. Somebody put that Randy Moss got signed. The fuck? What? That boy ain't playing no foot. That's a grown ass. He ain't playing no more football. Come on, man. Like, the ignorance is bliss. Like I wish that they could just shut down these fake pages all the time. Like, it just sucks. See, one thing about me, you're gonna get the truth, you're gonna get the honesty. I may not always be right, but again, we're as YouTubers, we all make educated guesses, but we do them as best that we can. But I'm not gonna throw out fake news out there. If it's something that happened, it happened. I'm not gonna just be like, oh well, Dak Prescott got traded. No, stop it. We don't do that. All right. Now, to the subject at hand. So, I don't know if you guys heard, but if you guys follow DeMarcus Lawrence, we know that DeMarcus Lawrence has been very boisterous. He always talks, for social injustice and everything. And it's good. You know what I mean? You want to hear these players voice their opinion on whatever it is going out there. They have the platform. They should be the ones that's, doing these things, going out here and not just throwing your money around, but actually doing things with action. And D-Law says it himself. He prides himself on man of action, being a part of the solution, not a part of the problem. And that's how I am too. I'm a type of person that I look at things in the face and I'm like, that ain't right. We got to change that. We got to fix that. So, and you guys know me. I'm fair. I'm fair for all. Like, I don't just sit here and just be like, well, I like this particular set of group, but I don't like that particular set of group. Hey, if I don't like you, it's because of you. It's because you messed up, not as a group, as a whole. So with that being said, you guys know how I feel about racism. I hate it. I don't understand it in 2020. We've come so far in the world to really not come that far. And it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense, because we know that racism... And look, I try to stay away from these topics on my channel, but I'm tired. I'm tired, y'all. I'm just tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of dealing with it. I need you guys to understand that we need to come together. And I know that football is one of those sports that divides that line between Democrat, Republican, between white, black, Asian, Puerto Rican, whatever your race, religion, Muslim, Christian, Catholic, whatever you are, it changes that. And we got to stop judging people off of what they look like. You know what I mean? Like, some people might look scary, but you go and talk to them and have a conversation with them, they be dope as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, me personally, I'm a very personable person. Like, those of you that have met me, y'all already know how E2 is. Like, I speak to everybody, you know what I mean? But one thing that I don't tolerate is disrespect. If you disrespect me, then you're going to see the bad side of E2. Because again, y'all know where I'm from. But I love to have fun. I love the joke. Because, look, you only live once, man. Why are you walking around angry all the time? And it's no need for people to be racist. There's no need for all the hate that we are receiving. You know what I'm saying? This ain't the 1940s. This ain't the 50s. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember like my grandmother telling me stories about stuff when she grew up and things like that, and how rough it was, and you know, had to go to the back of stores and stuff to get stuff, and not being allowed to go in and sit at the lunch counter and things of that nature, because we know the stories. We know our history. You know what I mean? Why do we want to continue that? Because we know that racism is a learned trait. So if there's young people or people in general that's still out here in this world talking like that, they were taught that way. And I just don't think it's right. You know what I mean? And I just, you know, in a perfect America, because this is where we are in America. I know those of you a lot of you that follow me are in other countries as well. Shout out to you guys in other countries, but as I can only speak for America because I live here. This is the only country I've ever lived in. But I've been to other places, but this is the only country I've ever lived in. So, you know, I just look at it like this. You know, I have family, I have Jamaican roots, but again, I was born in America. But here's the thing, like I just look at these situations and I'm just like, why are we doing this? Why? You know, and I'm all about peace, man. And that's why I started my channel, because, you know what I mean, I saw the big contingency of Cowboy fans, not just in this area, but just throughout the United States. That's why this team is called America's team. It's America's team. It ain't blacks teams. It ain't the whites teams. It ain't the Spanish teams. It ain't the Asians teams. It ain't none of that. It's America's. And actually, it's not just America's. It's the world's. Because we have the UK, we have Africa, we have, you know, Australia, we have China, we have fans in so many different countries. Whether or not they have football over there or not, or whether or not they can see it, they see that star, and that star is iconic. So I don't want to see no hate, especially on this channel. So if you're a subscriber to me and you got some hate in your heart, you need to go ahead and just unsubscribe, because I don't need it. I want everybody that's here to love one another and stop with the crap. Stop with it. Now, to the subject at hand. DeMarcus Lawrence. He was attacked by he was called a racial slur by a fan. Now, I don't know if it was a fan, but it was definitely, I don't know if it was a fan of the Cowboys, but it was definitely a fan of football, period. And that should not have happened. Now, the reason why, and I'm going to say what he called him, because actually I'm a read what, I wrote it down. I'm going to read what D-Law tweeted. He actually tweeted this. This is quoting his words. Now, the fan was coming at him about not standing up for, or not coming at Jerry for not saying anything. And I'm gonna make my piece on that, because actually I was gonna talk about that, but since this ties into that, this is the perfect time to talk about it. So, as I digress, this fan came at D-Law incorrectly because he didn't check or come at Jerry Jones for being silent about this whole situation that we're dealing with right now. Okay. If that's how you feel, there's a different way you could have went about that. But you don't make the situation worse by calling someone a racial slur. So, what he said was, what the bastard said was, D-Law's tweet, and I quote, "You are on social media today taking the time out of your day to call me a coon, Uncle Tom, or a clown. You could have spent that same time writing out an email plan of action on how people in my position can help your community directly, and press send to that. Hashtag man of action." Now, those of you that don't really follow D-Law, understand that, like, he does do things. He does give back, not just money, but he speaks and he does things for the charity. Like, he actually goes to the places and you know, show face. Now, as of a lot of players do now, especially with this stuff going on right now, it's serious. Everybody needs to be on alert. You know, a lot of us didn't like the way that the NFL handled the situation, especially with the Colin Kaepernick thing. So, with that, the NFL had to be on alert too, and everything else, because again, we can't have this racism going on, man. We gotta be right, man. We can't do this. We can't sit here and call each other racial slurs. Like, name calling is different. I could be like, you jerk, you ass, you bastard. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. Well, I mean, it's not fine to call anybody a name. I get that. But when you talk about racism like that, you just kind of just overstep the boundary. Like, me personally, I'm not comfortable with saying even the word redneck. I hate saying that. Like, I went to a restaurant. This is way before COVID. And like I said, I hang around a lot of white friends. I got a lot of white friends. So, like, when I went to a bar, one of them, they took me to this bar, and I guess it was kind of like I guess it was a redneck bar, they say. That's what they said. I'm just not comfortable saying it. It sucks. But, like, on the menu, they had redneck nachos. And I'm like, so I'm looking at the guy, and he's a white guy, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, I'm trying to order, and I'm like, let me get the nachos that are red. Let me get the nachos that are reddish. They might have necks. Maybe. He's like, you mean the redneck nachos? Woohoo! I was like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. But see, it was fun. That was a funny situation because we laughed about it and we had a good time. And he commended me for being like somebody that, like, he was shocked that, like, I didn't want to say it. And I was like, bruh, I'm not like I know that it may not be a racial thing, slur or whatever, because, I guess they call themselves that, but I just don't say it. Like, I don't even like to say the N-word as a black person. Like, it comes out of my mouth sometimes. I've said it before. But I mean, I guess as black people, that is, us. Look, I'm not even gonna get into that, but you already know. But this is the thing. I just don't like calling people outside of what the proper thing is. You know what I mean? And that's just, and if I don't feel comfortable with it, I feel like, and I know that everybody has their own opinions on things, but racism is not an opinion that should be had by anybody in 2020. And like I said, I got a young son, and I would never teach him to hate somebody because of their race, because of their religion, and because of where they come from. Come on. That's terrible. That's terrible. And, it's hard enough trying to raise a young black kid nowadays in the society because of everything that's going on. But, I just want people to be aware of what's going on. I want people to have a little bit more moxie when it comes to what, different races are going through. Like, I got to give credit to David Hellman and what's the other guy's name? David Hellman and God, forget their names, but shout out to them because Derek, not Derek Eagles, he's black. Nick Eatman. So David Hellman and Nick Eatman, but they both said, like, when this, even before, when other stuff was going on, they were like, look, me as a white person, I can't say that I personally have, been racially profiled or anything like that, or have I ever been, I can't say that I've ever been afraid of getting pulled over. And that's where we get the term white privilege. And they understand that. And they're like, we don't know what it's like to be black, but we sympathize. And that's all that we're trying to get people to understand. Just sympathize to the simple thing that this is happening. And yes, all races get, injured and hurt and get beat up and brutalized. Nobody's neglecting that. It's just that right now it's happening tenfold to the black community. And we just want everybody to understand that we're a part of the whole as well, and we just want to be treated as such. That's it. You know what I mean? And me personally, like I said, I don't believe in the narrative of, trying to, put people in a box. But at the end of the day, like, we all do matter. We do. And I hate when people be like, well, wow, Black Lives Matter. That's not what Black Lives Matter mean. Black Lives Matter is just getting you aware of the things that are happening bad to black people. Ain't nobody ever say that all lives didn't matter, because all lives do matter. We know that. They do. They do. And I love all people. Man, I got friends of every damn ethnicity. I love going to different countries and learning different things. I'm a history guy, so I like to learn like different cultures and different languages. And I wish I knew a lot of languages, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I like that type of stuff, because again, you want to step outside of what you see as a norm every day, because you don't want to be ignorant to other things in society. That's just period. But to that notion, that shouldn't have happened. Now, real quick before I end, about the whole Jerry Jones situation. Now, this particular individual that did the racial slur to D-Law was upset because he felt like that him and other people on the team did not check Jerry Jones for being silent. Yes, Jerry Jones is silent right now. Yes, a lot of people are going to feel some type of way that he's silent. But let me put something in perspective to you right quick. Jerry Jones is what, 77 years old? 77 years old. So, with him being that old, right? And I love me some Jerry, I do. We know that Jerry blurts out random stuff sometimes and not knowing what's going on, right? Do you really, and I'm talking to everybody on this, Cowboy fans in general. Do you really want Jerry Jones to speak on this? Do you really want to know? Jerry Jones is rich as hell. Jerry Jones is Caucasian. Jerry Jones doesn't know anything about that. So what is he gonna say? Now, granted, I want him to be sympathetic, and I know Jerry Jones is. Jerry Jones, I don't think Jerry Jones is racist. But and he might have his ways. He's old. He's old school. You know what I'm saying? But at the end, and I'm not defending him at all. So don't come in the comments, oh, you're defending Jerry. No. I really don't. Me personally, I'd rather him just be quiet. But I do want him, when things get back, I do want him to just acknowledge the fact that, hey, I'm with y'all. You know what I mean? And I know that he is, because he loves his black players. Oh my God. Like, do you see how many contracts he gave to like those guys back in the day? And this is back in the day. So, I mean, like I said, I've never met Jerry personally, but I know for a fact that for a lot of these black players that love him, and players that are like in their 50s now, like ex-players that are in their 40s and 50s now, that still say, oh yeah, I love me some Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones loved his players. Now, outside of that, like, I don't know, you know, he comes from a different cloth, obviously, but at the same time, do you really want him saying something at 77 years old? Because again, we know that older people have a different way of thinking. We know that they have, sometimes they mean well, but it comes off weird, and you're just like, why would you say that? We know that Jerry Jones says weird stuff. Come on now. I think of Des Bryant in the shower. We know what he meant by that, but it didn't come out too good. It didn't come out like, whoa, why would you say that? Whoa, pause, bruh. You think about another man in the shower? Pause, bruh. But there's that, and then you look at, like, what do you say? A fly on a what is it? A hair on a mosquito's ass or something like that. Just weird references. So let's be honest. We just know that you don't want Jerry really to say nothing. You just want Jerry to come out with a T-shirt that says Black Lives Matter and throw his fist up. And then he ain't got to say nothing. He just come out and okay, he down, he good. You know what I'm saying? Like, and even if that, he probably will have a conversation with his players privately. We don't need to know nothing about that. That's just the media trying to push all that shit out of there. And I need you guys to understand that, like, just because things are not said in the media, don't mean that other stuff is not going on in the background as far as what they're doing. So I just look at it like that. Before you judge, know the facts first. That's all I'm saying. But that's all I got. That's all I got. I'm off my soapbox and I'm done with it. I'm not talking no more about this type of stuff. I just wanted to understand. I just wanted y'all to know that E2 Blue creates positivity on this channel, and that's what I'm all about, y'all. I'm for the love of everybody. I love all of you, and I hope you love me too. Even you trolls out there. Even you too, Drew, Mr. Negative Ass. I don't even know if he's a Cowboy fan, but anywho, obviously y'all like us because y'all still here. Y'all watch every damn video and you comment. So, you know. But on that note, all my subscribers, appreciate you guys. Love you guys. If you're new to the channel, you already know what to do. Punch, as Michael Anthony Fitness say. Smash that subscribe button and tap that notification bell, baby, so you get this content. It's your boy E2 Blue, always keeping it real. Deuces.